With the increase in the application of electronic products, the electromagnetic environment around us is becoming increasingly complex, and its impact on our work and life is becoming more and more intimate. For example, high-frequency signal lines and high-speed PCBs, pins of integrated circuits, and various connectors may become sources of radiation interference, which will affect the normal operation of other systems or other subsystems within the system. Electromagnetic compatibility refers to the ability of a device or system to operate as required in its electromagnetic environment without causing intolerable electromagnetic interference to any device in its environment. Therefore, EMC includes two aspects: electromagnetic interference and electromagnetic anti-interference. The specific classification is as follows. Our common tests are conducted under interference CE and radiated interference RE under electromagnetic interference. In order to ensure that electronic products meet the requirements for reliability in the electromagnetic environment, various countries have formulated EMC regulations for electronic products in accordance with international standards, requiring products to obtain corresponding regulatory certification before they can be sold in the country. IEC is the earliest international electrotechnical standardization organization in the world, responsible for international standardization work in the fields of electrical engineering and electronic engineering. Its main organizations engaged in the formulation of EMC standards include CISPR, International Special Committee on Radio Interference. IEC standards have been widely adopted by Europe, the United States, Japan, China, and other regions and countries. The relevant certifications are the European Union CE certification, the United States FCCC certification, China's 3C certification, etc., which are all passes that electronic products must obtain to enter the market. EMI is a phenomenon that can transmit electromagnetic energy through AC lines or space, affecting product current loops, instrument equipment systems, or human life tissues. Mainly includes conducted interference and radiated interference. The following two items are an introduction to the two. Conducted interference. Mainly at frequencies below 30 MHz. For power terminal conducted interference, it mainly measures the harassment voltage emitted by the device under test along the power line to the power network, and also includes the harassment signal conducted through the signal line to other connected peripheral equipment. Radiation interference. When the frequency is higher than 30 MHz, radiation becomes the main mode of propagation. Need to be carried out in an open field or an anechoic room. Having said EMI, what is the difference between the EMI certification test and the EMI pre-test that we often hear about? Why conduct an EMI pre-test? Well, in order to obtain these certifications, various electronic product manufacturers must send their products to relevant electromagnetic compatibility certification agencies for testing. This kind of testing is paid. Only after passing the test can you obtain the certification certificate. If it passes, it needs to be returned for EMC rectification before being sent for testing. This process may go through several iterations. In order to reduce this time-consuming and costly iteration, users can complete EMI pre-testing and qualitative assessment in the laboratory through self-test and evaluation before conducting EMC certification. Having said so much, how do you tell whether it has passed? The two pictures below are the results of our pre-test. You can see that the signal on the left picture exceeds our limit line, so we can think that it fails, while the opposite is true for the right picture. How about this? It will be easier to understand how to check whether it has passed or not. Rigol EMI pre-compatibility test solution mainly consists of the following parts. The first is Rigol spectrum analyzers, including RSA 5000, RSA 3000, DSA 800, DSA 700 series spectrum analyzers, which are cost-effective, flexible, and diverse. They can not only be used for EMI pre-compliance testing, but can also meet signal measurements for a variety of applications. In EMI test, use 3 different types of detectors to work simultaneously to monitor radiation at specific frequencies. Use peak detector, quasi-peak detector, EMI average detector, and RMS average detector to measure suspicious signals and place the results in the signal list. Sweep a frequency range and display the results in a logarithmic or linear format. Easily identify signals that do not meet regulatory agency limits. Quickly call standard limit lines. After pre-scanning with peak detection, suspicious points are quickly found, and the final result is obtained through a quasi-peak detector and filter that complies with CISPR standards. Combine the test results with relevant data such as setting parameters, test time, environment, etc. to generate a report with one click. The second one is S1210, EMI pre-compatibility test software. If the spectrum analyzer you choose is DSA series, then it must be tested with the software. The picture shows the test interface of our software. The third part is scanned by the NFP3 near-field probe in the picture. The picture on the right shows the environment setup for pre-testing. After talking about the radiation test, let's take a look at the environment setup for the conducted interference test. Conducted interference pre-test equipment includes test receiver spectrum analyzer artificial power network. Usually it can be replaced by line impedance stabilization network LISN, isolation transformer, and limiter. What an artificial power network AMN or LISN does: isolation and cooperation. Prevent radio frequency electromagnetic disturbance from entering the power grid. At the same time, attenuate the interference signal from the power grid and connect the radio frequency disturbance signal to the measurement receiver through the coupling capacitor. Stabilizing impedance. Provides uniform impedance 50Q to facilitate comparison of test results under different power grids. The above is the complete introduction of EMI.